So Dragon Fist 900 says, do you think pre-orders will open soon? Okay, so right now, guys, let's specifically talk about the new Switch OLED. If you saw my video, awesome. If you didn't, check it out. It's on the channel. And if you have any questions, like, let me know if you want to know my random thoughts. But okay, so these pre-orders, I saw that they went up in Australia today. Now, I don't know for sure that that means that they're going to go up anytime soon for the rest of the world, but I saw that they went up in Australia. Australia is a day ahead of it. Not really a day ahead of us, but over there, it's already tomorrow. I think that's how time zones work. So maybe they go live tomorrow for us. We'll see. I am going to be checking. I don't believe that they'll go live at midnight or anything like that, but I am on the hunt. When I see that pre-orders are live, I mean, I'm not going to make a video about it or anything, but I don't know. Maybe I'll tweet about it or something. Wait, have I called it? If I've called it the Switch Pro by accident here, apologies. I've called this thing a Switch Pro all day by mistake. I was talking to Zach. I was talking to some other people. And every time I'm saying the name of this damn thing, I keep saying Switch Pro. And clearly that's not what it is. Which is fine, I guess. I'm happy I don't got to buy this thing. Because if I'm being honest, it's not like I was gonna play like third-party games there anyways. Like, got the PC, I got, you know, PS5 and Xbox and stuff. So I'm happy that I don't have to buy it. But I'm like, the only part that I'm upset about, and I am upset a little bit. I'm a little upset. It's not, I said this in the video. It's not because it's not the Pro. Like, that's cool. Like, whatever. Like, that's just not in the cards. I'm upset at like all this fake, well, not fake, because the rumors there were real rumors, but like reputable places like Bloomberg and Forbes and people that we trust were adamant that this thing was, you know, 4K DLSS. Like, people were so adamant about that, and that didn't end up being the case, obviously. Hi Kim, how you doing? Happy to see you. Dragonfist says, chip shortage could explain the lack of the CPU upgrade. Yes, that makes perfect sense. But I wonder how quickly they reshuffle everything, right? So like, let's assume the plan was to have this be 4K capable with DLSS. No one ever thought that this would be native 4K. I saw a lot of people talk about that. They're like, oh, you know, Xbox Series S doesn't do 4K. Why do people expect like Nintendo? No one expects native. It's all DLSS. For anyone that doesn't know, DLSS means that the games are natively running at a lower resolution, but with machine learning, it upscales it a little bit, well, not a little bit, a lot, depending on which type of DLSS they use, because there's various presets. So making a game that isn't running natively in 4K, it makes it look very, very good. Almost no visual degradation, even though there's going to be some clearly, there has to make it run well. But even if it's like a 1080p game, like the game's running at 1080p, you can get it at 4K or close to 4K with DLSS. Like, that happens now on PC all the time, and you don't need any crazy hardware. You just need a chip that's capable of doing this using the NVIDIA technology, and they're out there. Okay, the chip shortage is definitely it, Dragonfist. That has to play a part of it, but how quickly can they pivot? I lost my train of thought, excuse me. But if the plan was always, hey, 4K, and now it's not, it doesn't seem like there was a lot of like time there. The chip shortage, we've known about it for, you know, a year or whatever, but I don't know how far in advance the contracts are made with these manufacturers. Like, could they pivot so quickly? Because it seems like it was a quick pivot. We heard the 4K rumors from Bloomberg and Forbes and other places months ago. So from a few months ago to now, were they just able to just like boom that quickly change it from I snapped my fingers but didn't actually snap them here. Were they that quickly able to just change direction? And I don't know if that's something that is possible. But a lot of people were bummed about the non-4K-ness of the new Switch. Could the Switch actually do 4K DLSS? You think not? Not the current Switch, of course not. Not the current one. But the new NVIDIA, well, not NVIDIA. Well, yeah, NVIDIA. The new NVIDIA chips, yeah, like, why not? I don't see why not, man. Again, you don't need anything crazy for it. Like 2060s can do DLSS. And obviously these are not even 2060s. That's like way too powerful. That's not what would go in this hypothetical Switch Pro, but there's a way with the new NVIDIA stuff. I agree. You don't have to upgrade. Yeah, I'm not going to upgrade. Leakers have ruined everything. Whatever happened to being genuinely surprised? That's just the world we live in now. I like, there's no going back. It's like the internet. Like back in my day, like I'd wake up, go outside, play with my friends and stuff. And now I wake up and go check leaks on Reddit and like recent era. Like that's just kind of what it is. Unfortunately, the culture of leaks and rumors has just ballooned out of control. I don't know if some people do it for just attention and clout online, which, you know, makes sense. Hey, Deshaun, what's up? Hey, Lord Drifter. Happy to see you guys here, man. So, obviously, and I'm guilty of it, right? We're all guilty of it. Zach, Switchforce, everyone is guilty of it. Where someone says something online and we get excited, so we run with it. We go make videos about it. We talk about it online. And then the excitement just balloons and balloons and balloons. And it's almost never based on fact. Almost never. I was talking to some people earlier today and they're like, oh, I know for like, it's a fact that Nintendo's, you know, there was a, like, no, we gotta correctly interpret what the word fact means. Now, is it likely that there will be a Switch Pro at some time? You know, maybe, because now there's a new gang of people. I'm calling it a gang. It's not that serious. Now there's a group of people that are team Switch Pro 2022 who say, hey, Breath of the Wild 2, man, Mario plus Rabbids, that stuff is going to work. Jeff Grubb in particular, who I love. Jeff Grubb does awesome work. Who else had I seen? I think Jason Schreier might have said something. And there was one more. I forgot who. There was one more who are all saying that Switch Pro could still be a thing in 2022. They're like alluding to it. Jeff Grubb specifically said he always heard 2022 for Switch Pro, the 4K DLSS version. So there's a chance. How you doing today, Deshaun? I'm not upgrading either because you have your Nintendo Switch Lite. Yeah, if you don't feel you need to upgrade, like straight up don't do it. These things are not going to be easy to get. Like we already know that they're going to sell out instantly. We know that scalpers are waiting. They got everything set, ready for when these pre-orders go live, and they're gonna gobble it all up, dude. All right, you really think they might save all those features for the next console? That's what I want, dude. Like that's what I want. The Switch isn't new anymore. It's not. We keep pretending like this thing's gonna go on forever, and the success is astronomical right now. Like it's incredibly successful. They had no tangible reason to do this. Like, honestly, straight up, they did this for an evil reason. Maybe not evil, but it's completely greed-based. Because they didn't change internals at all. These internals were already outdated in 2017. So they made the screen like this much bigger. If you can't see it, that's because it's tiny. They made the screen oh so slightly bigger. And gave us OLED, which is, you know, down in price too, as far as the actual cost of the supplies to make those screens. Nintendo is like selling these things at such a profit, and they're selling it for $50 more. The kickstand, the extra sound, like, okay, maybe it's worth it to you. That's fine. To me, I don't think it is. And this is just an excuse to not lower the price. This thing's in year 4 of Switch, and now they don't gotta lower the price. In fact, they upped the price. Instead of a price reduction around the 4-year mark, Nintendo switched it. Nah, we're hiring the price. That's freaking genius. That's freaking genius. Good for them. Like maybe the Pro is still coming. Like I don't know. I don't necessarily care to speculate on that so much, because people are going to believe what they believe, and that's fine. Let's see. Deshaun says, I'm good, just looking at the Switch revision, and I am not upgrading. Hey, look, I may try to get my hands on one just because I like this stuff. Like, I'm a fan of all this stuff. If I can find one and I don't got to pay, you know, a ton over retail, you know, maybe there's a shot there, right? My current Switch, Like the Joy-Cons are messed up. I've broken my Pro controller. I've dropped my dock a whole bunch of times. It has a crack on it. So if this thing becomes readily available, like I might maybe get one, maybe. All right, Steph says, this is why I keep your expectations low. I couldn't be let down by the announcement today because I wasn't expecting anything better. Yo, dude, I woke up, Steph, and you know, give you a little insight into my morning. I wake up, I instantly reach for my phone, which is a terrible habit and no one should do it. I instantly reach for my phone and I see what Zach says because he sends me the stuff for Good Morning Mario every morning. So I gotta check up on the news and figure out what we're doing for the show. Because for those of you that are coming from Switch Force and you don't know, I edit every Good Morning. Well, not every. I edit almost every Good Morning Mario, like 99% of them, maybe 98. So I woke up and the first thing I see is here, man, I want to show the emoji. Can you guys see? You can barely see. It says it's here, and then it's you know, that kid dancing, and then Cookie Monster dancing. Okay, good. I didn't show anything crazy. I was scared for a minute that y'all might have seen something crazy. So that happened, and I get so excited, and then I see this trailer. I say, yo, Zach, did he mention a word about DLSS? He's like, is there any chance that they're just not mentioning it and it's still a thing? I said, no freaking way. That's too big a feature to not show it or not talk about it at all. Oh, that screen burn with the OLED might give you another issue. Look, Lord Drifter, maybe, but OLED's gotten better throughout the years. The technology is improved a bunch. I'm not throwing gang signs. I'm stretching my fingers, by the way. You literally, Manny, you literally said that you would believe it when they announce it. Like, but here's the thing, like, how mad can we be? Like, it's not Nintendo doing any of this. Nintendo is just doing their thing. And it's just all of us and these leakers and reporters just ballooning things out of control. Chris says that you're pretty sure the Switch was scrapped due to the silicon shortage. That's a valid reason. Like that's the common thinking with everyone. Like that's what we think happened. We think that the 4K Switch was a thing at one point, but the chip shortage is making it way too hard. But I don't, if it was a thing at some point, which again, I think we all think it was, I don't think it's scrapped. I think it's maybe delayed or whatever you were going to do with this, put it to the next console, right? A new Switch console period, not just a revision, is due in like 2 or 3 years. So maybe they just decided to push it. You never drop, Gaming Fire, you've never dropped your Switch. You're lucky. I've dropped my Switch a lot. You're concerned that we're not making enough, just like the PS5. Boondoggle, man. That's a freaking awesome name. I was going to cuss, but I'm trying not to cuss right now. Boondoggle. It's not that they're not making enough PS5s. They're making enough. It's just that people are scalping them. Like they're making a good amount of them. If it wasn't for scalpers, you would probably be able to get a PS5. But yeah, with the chip shortage, it's not happening. Here, oh my God, this is something I want to talk about. And then I'll start wrapping up this portion of the stream and we'll get into DC Superhero Girls Teen Power. Stay tuned for that. It's going to be fun, I think. I don't know what that game is actually like. All right, so Leighton Allen says that 350 is a joke. Also hope that you're doing well. Miss you on Switch Force. Are you done there for good? Here, I'll answer the Switch Force question first. You'll see me on Switch Force again at some point, but I'm not there regularly. I edit Good Morning Mario every day. So I'm still a part of Switch Force. I just edit Good Morning Mario specifically. I don't touch the Animal Crossing stuff. But you know, you'll see me there at some point. I did some streams with him, you know, a couple weeks ago. So every once in a while, just periodically, I'll pop up, but don't expect me there regularly. That's not happening, Leighton. 350 is a joke. Another thing I mentioned in the previous video, but PS5 digital being $399, right? $50 more. And Series S, both of those are behind me right now. Well, Switch is behind me too, but Series S being cheaper than the Switch. And whatever you think about Series S, that's still like a next gen console. It'll do 1440p and it'll do 60 FPS, sometimes more. And you're telling me that the Switch with internals that were outdated in 2017 is gonna sell for more than that Xbox? You're crazy. You're crazy, Nintendo. I'm not doing it. I agree with you, Leighton. All right, Chris says that you imagined they had a Pro ready to go in every way except its chips. They're waiting for chip supply and it never came. This allows them to use the chips they already have. Yeah, but again, like I talked about it earlier in the stream. I don't know if you were here. Like, how do you make that pivot, like, as a company? Again, I'm assuming you have all these contracts with manufacturers, you have everything set up. I mean, it's machines making all this stuff. So I think that whatever machine, I could be wrong here, but I think like whatever like robot basically makes the current Switch and the next Switch, it's completely different. And this is stuff that costs a lot of money. The Switch internals aren't expensive. Like the chips aren't expensive, none of that. But like the contracts that are in place with these manufacturers, we don't know how those work. I don't know how that pivot worked, honestly. Steph says, I don't know. I'm probably only gonna ever buy a Switch if I manage to break my Switch. Slam it on the floor. Terry Johnson, it is pretty expensive, but I like the white color. The dock will look nice. Here's something, Terry Johnson. If you have a Switch already, get D-brand skins for like 20 bucks, and boom, you have the color. You like the dock is sold separately. We learned that a little bit later in the day, but the dock is available for sale on Nintendo's website. And that dock, the new dock, works with the old Switch. Nintendo has confirmed that. So I would maybe just save money, dude. If you don't care about the OLED screen because you don't play handheld a ton, if you play handheld, then great. It'll look nicer. So if you're okay with that being your major improvement for the 350, awesome, have at it, have an amazing time, you're gonna be good. But if all you like is the color in the dock, dude, debrand it up. Some 10, 15, 20 bucks for the Joy-Con skins, and then buy the dock on Nintendo.com and you're golden. Steph, yes, correct. All right, so the LAN thing means that from your router, on the back of your router, and I understand that maybe not everyone is so technically inclined, you plug an Ethernet cable in the back of your router, and from that you go to the back of the Switch dock, and it's just a wired connection, less latency and improved speeds. So, as an example, like I'm going to point that side of the room, right? I don't know, maybe like 10 feet, 10 or 15 feet that way. Let's say I have the dock, not the dock. Well, sure, the dock. All right, so I have my Switch dock over there, like 10 feet. And then 10 feet that were not, let's say 15. They're like 25 feet away from each other. That distance is gonna make it so that your Wi-Fi signal probably isn't very strong, especially because the Wi-Fi on the Switch is kind of garbage and they didn't improve the Wi-Fi whatsoever. That's another big missed opportunity with the Switch OLED. I thought that they were at least gonna improve the Wi-Fi, but they didn't. It's the same chip. With that wire, and clearly you're gonna want to bring them closer together unless you want a very long Ethernet cable like me. It'll make it so that it's the best connection you could possibly have, given with your internet speed. Are the Joy-Con different? No, not at all. Not even a little bit. They're the exact same. The exact same. Man, here's the other thing that annoyed me, right? I'll hold up Joy-Con right now because I'm gonna play with them. Haha. D-pad. What? Wrong way. D-pad, man. Come on. Why don't you give us a D-pad, Nintendo? And I get it. It's not like the Switch Pro. We're off that. But a D-pad would have been nice with this. We don't have one. The exact same Joy-Con. The only difference is the color. You have a D-pad on your Joy-Con. Yeah, you can get a different Joy-Con that comes with a D-pad. You can do like modifications. Yeah, there's ways to do it. I mean, I don't care that much. I don't play with them with the Joy-Cons. I play with this thing now because my Pro controller, which is also here, this thing, a major drift. I don't have Joy-Con drift yet, like, but Pro controller drift. It's real. This thing is basically trash at this point. I might open it up and try to fix it somehow, but I gotta look up a YouTube video because I don't know how to do it. All right, so I think we're gonna wrap up the Switch Pro conversation here, and we are gonna move on to check out DC Superhero Girls. For those of you that were here for the Switch Pro conversation, I appreciate you guys being here. You guys are awesome. Stick around if you want to see me play this weird game. Sponsored by our good friends and viewers Stephanie M and Laura. Basically sponsored this, so it'll be